Hi, my name's Forrest, and I'm transgender. I was born into a female body, but I'm a man. One thing that is pretty amazing here on the internet is as you are on a quest to kind of discover more about yourself, you find all these resources, sometimes videos, sometimes writing, and whatever you discover, you'll read something and you'll be like, whoa, that just sounded like it came out of my mind. Like that really reflects my own experience, and um, and that's pretty crazy to think. You go through this process where you discover inside yourself like that you're different, and then you feel like an outcast or just like no one can understand. But then as you're doing research, you discover like someone feels the exact same way, and then it leads into like, hundreds of people, thousands of people have this experience of being transgender, and it's very comforting. So this video is to actually share with you this process that all people go through when it comes to either coming out in any type of way that you can think of, either coming out as transgender or just coming out as queer, or even just discovering yourself. Everybody goes on this journey, and there's these steps, these very universal steps that people have. And the first step is kind of the who am I, like looking on the inside, figuring yourself out on the inside kind of quietly and privately. And this is part of the aging process. When you're young, you're like, who is this person that I am? Like, I'm gonna invent myself, I'm gonna make myself. But then you discover, as you watch and learn, that there's something about you that makes you different from other people. And who is that person that you are? And when you discover you're transgender, it's heartbreaking, because you're like, whoa, I'm really different. Like, the things that I want to do aren't apparently they're not normal. Like, people keep telling me to go into the girl line, but I'm a boy and I don't understand. So there's this thing where you have this awareness, and actually it can come with shame. As you grow older, you want to hide it because it's not very acceptable to be different, and you're like, man, I just feel like 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 something's wrong, and this isn't right, and I don't want to wear a dress, and I don't want to like go to prom with this guy and dress in this fancy way. Anyway, you just have all these feelings on the inside, and and it's scary, and it's very lonely. So what it leads you to do is the next step, which is research. You like go out into the world and you look around and you're like, is there anyone else like me? You Google on the computer, and I remember, thinking to myself like, oh no, am I transsexual? And then discovering all these new terms, and like, oh no, I'm transgendered. and then really learning, oh, like, no, you're supposed to say I am transgender, not erd. Anyway, then you learn these terms like F to M, M to F, packing, blah blah blah. This whole new set of terms that you didn't know, but once you learn them, you just eat them up, and you're like, oh, I want to learn more. And then you watch the YouTube videos, but you do it secretly because you don't want anyone to know, because you're not ready for that next step, which is pretty much sharing the information that you learned about yourself. So coming out, but kind of step one, in the inner circle. Usually it's coming out to friends, which can be a very different experience than coming out to family. So when you have all these things inside that make you different, and when you learn more about them and you realize you're not the only one, there's this thing that makes you want to come out and just share it with someone, because you're going crazy, because you're just like filling up with self-knowledge and things like that. And so then you lay it on someone. Maybe it's your best friend, maybe it's a parent, maybe it's an acquaintance, I don't know, or someone low risk. But whatever you do, you really take this step and you bring out what's on the inside, and you tell someone like, I want you to know something about me I haven't told anyone, and then blah blah blah. You just do your thing. Now, if this is met with any type of really threatening response, if someone blows you off or says like, what, that's too weird, I don't understand, or like, you're a freak, or like, I hate you, we can't be friends, if something like that happens, it puts you right back in your shell. I mean, a lot of people come out to their girlfriends or boyfriends, like their partners, their romantic partners, and when that like gets rejected, then it just brings you right back into you know, step one, just thinking about yourself, being all stuck inside that shell, which is a hard place to be. It's very lonely. Anyway, but when you are met with support and like encouragement, or sometimes you have to go through this process where at first it's like, that's kind of weird, but like, oh no, actually I accept you, I thought about it more. So there's this process that you go through. After that completes, then you're on to the next phase, which is, you know, taking those bigger risks, coming out to the people that, you know, aren't in your little inner circle, you know, taking the steps to actually be more out, I guess, to be comfortable in your own situation, to have a little bit of pride, you know, and that's important to have sort of your own support coming from within, because once you, it's just so interesting, once you go through these steps, on the inside, this confidence starts to build. Like when you're met with support and love, or even if it's just a little bit to keep you going, then, you know, you have this freedom to like actually be yourself and get to know yourself in this new comfortable way, which is the way that most, well, no, I'm not even going to say that out loud. I was going to say most average people get to experience that. But, you know, everybody has these differences that they struggle with, and they go through this sort of same process. And sort of the last thing is just balancing everything in your life, you know, not getting too obsessed about this discovery that, you know, you made and that you've been working on for so long. Kind of let that go and let yourself just be present, be not obsessed about the thing that makes you different. That's all part of the process. And, you know, there are ups and downs. I always recognize this, like, when I first started this process of actually changing using hormones, I was like, yes, I'm doing it, oh, this is great, this is awesome. And then, you know, when things didn't happen fast enough, or to my liking, you know, changes were happening, I was like, that's not cool, I didn't expect that, whatever. Anyway, you just go through these, like, mood up and down things, being kind of excited, thinking about the future, and then being kind of like dealing with reality and how it's tricky. But anyway, I just think that to know that there are these steps that everybody goes through is really interesting, and that I'm curious, like, what phase are you in? Like, where are you at with this transition process or watching process? You know, sometimes you're just there as a supporter and you're not trans, and what's it like for you?